bars to see the exact numbers. Our second KPI is the revenue percentage difference compared to previous year. Is the percentage difference of the revenue made this year and the revenue made last year. So as you can see, there's a 76% difference between the revenue made this year and last year of 2024, because that's what we selected in the year box. So this bottom area you can filter by location and year. Moving on to the second section, we have the revenue versus the budget. And again, you can hover over these bars to see the exact numbers. So you can see the exact amount of revenue and the exact amount of budget. Okay, and on the bottom here, you can again filter by location, year, and also month in this one. And last KPI of this page, we have revenue by days of the week. It basically just shows the revenue that was generated each day of the week. And again, you can hover over the bars to see the exact numbers. And on the bottom, you can filter by location and weeks. Three of these KPIs, the revenue percent difference between previous year and this year, the revenue versus the budget, and revenue by days of the week, are all color coded, meaning that if it is good, it's green, and if it is bad, it's red. For example, you can see revenue by days of the week. If it's bright green here, it means the revenue was high. And if it was red, it means the revenue was low. You can also see that by the budget. If I choose something like Canteen Leeuwarden, you can see that because the revenue did not reach the budget, it actually turns red. And when the revenue is above or on the budget, it turns green. Moving on to the second page. This is all about product performance. On this page, we have popular products, net sales per sold products, gross sales per sold product, sold products, and revenue per products. And on the left-hand side, we have all our slicers. You can filter by year, month, days of the month, location, item, and top products. One unique thing about the slicer top products is that it only filters the popular products. And this is how it works. For example, you want to see the top 5 products. You just type in here top 5, and it will show you in popular products the top 5 products based on volume sold. So based on how much this product was sold. Okay, so starting with the popular products, it basically shows the top products, the top best-selling products based on volume sold. You can hover over the bars to see the exact numbers. You can also click on the bars to change every other value. As you can see, it focuses only on cappuccino because I clicked on cappuccino. And we also have net sales per product sold, gross sales per product sold, and the amount of products sold. These 3 cards are pretty self-explanatory. Our last one is our KPI of this page, the revenue per product. This just shows the revenue that each product generates. And again, hover over them to see the exact values. Our third and final page is about peak and off-peak hours. All our slicers are on the top left side of the page. You can filter by location, year, month, weeks. Our first KPI of this page is the revenue of peak and off-peak hours. It just shows the revenue that was made during peak hours and the revenue that was made during off-peak hours. The light blue, as you can see here, is off-peak hours, and you can again hover over the bars to see the exact values. The dark blue is the peak hours. You can also hover over the bar to see the exact values. And yeah, it shows the revenue of peak hours and off-peak hours. Here we also have a text box that clarifies what is peak hours and what is off-peak hours. For us, peak hours is from 11 to 1, and every other hour would be non-peak hours. or off-peak hours. And our second KPI of this page is percent difference of revenue between peak and off-peak hours. This is basically the percentage difference of the revenue made during peak hours and the revenue made during off-peak hours. This is also color-coded, and the reason why it's red right now is because we want the off-peak hours and peak hours revenue to kind of be close to each other. We want the off-peak hours to kind of be as high or close to the revenue generated during peak hours. And because there is a 517.96 percentage difference between the two, that means we are not close to the goal we want to reach. That's why it's red. Our third KPI of this page is the daily sales percent of off-peak hours and peak hours. By days of the week, it shows how much percent the revenue of peak hours and the revenue of off-peak hours contributed to the total revenue. So as you could see, for example, you can hover over this and you can see the exact values. You can see that off-peak hours generated 14.67% of the total revenue that day. And peak hours generated 85.33% of the total revenue that day. Moving on to our last KPI, revenue per ticket per week. It is pretty self-explanatory. It just shows the revenue per ticket per week. And you can also hover over the graph to see the exact number once again. And yeah, this is our user manual for our dashboard. I hope this answered any questions you might have had, and thank you for watching.